So the next question which has been asked, that what is the difference between Marxist perspective of a state from liberal perspective of a state? Liberal perspective of state. So in liberal perspective, we have so many strands. First is social contract individualism, which says that by social contract among rational individuals, civil society and state were created. That was given by Hobbes, Locke, and Rousseau. That is mechanistic theory of a state. That is, state is machine, which may be powerful, but it is the means. Individualism is the end. For Hobbes, individualism in terms of security and liberty confined only to self-regarding sphere, while for Locke, liberty is primary in individualism. Social contract individualism. Then utilitarianism, given by Bentham, that best government is one which governs the least. He favored legal reforms, legal rights, and criminal lawyer being criminal lawyer, he favored complexities to be reduced. To promote utility, utility has to be given more priority over liberty. Then we have welfare approach of Lasky, Green, T.H. Green, J.S. Mill, who claim that state was formed, a state is a human organization which is meant for welfare of the people. Then neoliberal theory of a state. So in all that, broadly, the state is considered to be necessary evil in classical liberalism. Necessary because it maintains law, order, defense, and security. Evil because it is too powerful, it may threaten individual freedom. So they focus on atomistic view of society, while welfare theory favor pluralist view of society, that group theory, that society is consisting of groups. So liberal perspective of a state basically focus on liberty than equality. Liberal perspective focus on creation of wealth rather than distribution of wealth. Liberal perspective focus on market economy and private property as an institution and incentive system. And state was formed either by social contract or by as a human organization for welfare of the people. In Marxist perspective, state came into existence by force, not by social contract, not by the welfare. Is not a welfare organization or human organization for welfare. State is a class instrument. Dominant class created a state to continue and perpetuate the dominance over dependent class, to continue the exploitation. So the origin of a state was in force. And Marx himself said that in capitalist society, state was an instrument of exploitation in the hands of minority capitalists against majority workers, because Marx divided society into two polarized classes, haves and have-nots. And superstructure, economic structure is the base, and superstructure consists of politics and state. They are dominated by minority capitalist. So there is a difference in state. So for Marx favor classless, stateless society. So for Marx, state was unnecessary evil. Unnecessary evil. Because ultimately after socialist revolution, the class difference will end. And state was class instrument, so state will wither away. So classless, stateless society, communist society, that will be the highest stage of human society. That will be exploitation free, where everybody would contribute according to his ability and will get according to his needs. So unnecessary evil, because state is class instrument for exploitation. So in broadly Marxist perspective, you have classical Marxism or traditional Marxism, then you have neo-Marxism, structuralism, Althusser, whatsoever may be the case. But ultimately, as far as state is concerned, instrumentalist approach says that state was just executive branch of bourgeoisie. Bourgeoisie means capitalist. And ultimately, state is used by dominant to continue the dominance and exploitation. So these are the broad difference between Marxist and liberal perspective of the state. Within liberal perspective, I have highlighted social contract, utilitarian, welfare, and that of neoliberal perspective. Within Marxist also instrumentalist, structuralist, neo-Marxist. But broadly, we have to see that Marx considered economic structure as the base. And for Marx, economic activity was the most important activity. Marx believed in economic determinism, that everything is determined by economy. Production was the most important social activity. So Marxist perspective focus more on community rights, working class rights, highlighting role of sweat and labor, collective ownership, social ownership, public sector ownership of means of production, while liberal perspective favor private ownership of means of production, and role of a state should be minimal in classical perspective. So this is how you can easily understand and write the answer. These are very simple questions in pol science and easy to write.